And the lights are on, they are out, we are underway, and what a launch from Andy Pilgrim. Looked like both Crescentini and Pope struggled a little bit, and Pilgrim away, but look at Crescentini, deep on the brakes into turn one. Pope sideways, he hangs on, but Crescentini out front. Boy, what a difference a day makes.
Boy, braking is everything. Those Stop Tech brakes working for Dino Crescentini, and Dino Crescentini proves that he deserves to be here. P1 right off.
Incident, Tom. Sorry, the number 57 of Lindsay got crossed up, and Steve Ott went right over the nose and showed nothing but belly pan to Lindsay.
You know, he didn't even let up. He just drove away from the whole thing.
All-wheel drive.
Lindsay hapless, sitting in the middle of the track, wondering what's going to happen next. Going to have to take another look at this one. And right off the bat, we see it gets tight in here, and everybody's up to speed. A little spin from Lindsay. Ott, really the victim in this one, had absolutely nowhere to go, but look at this, Greg. He just says, well, that happened. Now I'm gassing it again.
And Ott now, we're on board, and he brings it into the pits. Not surprisingly, he's got to be some damage to that car, but with that all-wheel drive, when that front tire hooked that bodywork, it just peeled him right up and over it.
Yeah, Pat Lindsay had a really good view of it, as you said, took a look at the belly pad of that Nissan. So, official starter Jerry Russert holds out the safety car and the double yellow here on a very windy day with threatening skies here at St. Petersburg. Man, oh man, what a difference a day makes.
And Pat Lindsay as well going to have to make a call down into the pits. Lots of damage to the right front corner of that car. The question is it just aesthetic with bodywork, or is there problems with ducting and damage to the suspension? And I can't believe that Ott was even able to drive that around to the pits. Boy, these Nissans are strong. Let's take a look at the Game Streamer replay. On board with Ott.
Now Steve Ott sees the 57 car go a little bit wide here. He had nothing to do there, nowhere to go. He just had to ride it out. And as you can see, the number 29 car gets by, but he still gasses it. Now from inside Patrick Lindsay's car, takes a look up and says, what in the world was that?
The pace car is in. Dino Crescentini bringing him up right behind Andy Pilgrim, tucking in. Watch for it. There's the green. We are on. And Crescentini gets a little bit of a jump. There's Daskalos in fourth. And I believe that is Sofronis in fifth, down into turn one. And indeed, Daskalos hangs onto that fourth spot behind Pilgrim and Popst. But Dino Crescentini already starting to drive away from Tom.
You know, there's enough space on this racetrack where the draft is going to make a difference on that long back straightaway. And you can see these two Volvos forming up, but not enjoying that luxury are the Viper and the Porsche of Daskalos and Sofronis, respectively. Those guys are still in a pitch battle.
And the slipperier this track gets, whether it's debris, whether it's cold temps, whether it's rain, those all-wheel drive Volvos and the Nissans are going to come alive pretty smartly as Sofronis continues to try and make a move on Daskalos. But Tom, let's take a look at a Game Streamer replay of what was a frantic but ultimately successful start for Dino.
Well, Dino just didn't get moving there, but neither did Randy Post, and then it's Andy Pilgrim who gets the really big jump, but he's on the wrong position on the track. Under braking, Dino Crescentini can just motor on by, and not only that, he's got pace on this restart, Craig.
He sure did, and now he has completed lap number 4, starting lap 5. And again, the battle for fourth in this lead group is furious. Daskalos trying to defend, so Sofronis says, fine, I'll work the outside here, see if he can make it stick. He's got the inside here, but he squeezed to the wall. Daskalos, they may have had just a little bit of a take. They are still side by side. They say you can't do this on a street course like St. Pete. Wrong. But it slowed him up, and that has allowed Rivera. And look at Kuno Whitmer. The Woodhouse Performance red and white Viper down the inside. Rivera surprised by that, and Whitmer, that's what you call it. Meanwhile, up front, Dino Crescentini leads, but now the Volvo is starting to reel him in a little bit. He gapped him pretty good, Tom, and that's closing up, as is Daskalos. Ooh, a little bit of a bobble there by Dino under brakes. You know, just a little hot in.
He's used the line that he would normally use going in there when he's not racing somebody. Just left the braking a little bit deep there and had a little bit of a catch. But Dino Crescentini has got Steve Ruiz down in pit lane, giving him his numbers lap by lap. and he can do a great job with that car. Now there's Steve Ott in a replay from earlier. Geez, when you early apex, you tend to run out of road at the exit, and there's some damage on that car.
That right front, so he early apexed into the wall. He must have damaged the right front. That's what pitched him into the left, and he's right into the pits.
Yeah, well, of course, you know, that car had a big shot, and it's a brand new program. So Steve Ott, unfortunately, is going to have to sit the rest of this one out. Here's something that we haven't seen before. Turn number 9, Randy Popes slows dramatically. The pits say that he's overheating in that K-Pax Racing Volvo. Bad news for the driver of the number 6.
And on the 12th lap of the race, watch this. This is Pat Lindsay, and possibly something let go due to that earlier incident, and straight into the barriers over at the turn 12 area. A big hit. That car is parked as well. So now, as we are in the 16th lap, we are under a full course caution once again here at St. Petersburg. The lights out on the pace car. We're about to go back to the sports car wars here. Pace car is in. Dino checks up just a little bit right to the middle of the track. That may be a wise defensive move. And wait for the green flag. And again, look at the launch that Sofronis gets, Tom. Got up behind, did not make the move until the green flew. And again, he's coming around. He may be going for second. Does he get it done? He does. What a start. 2 days in a row, James Sofronis, brilliant on a restart.
Got to take advantage of the opportunities as they're presented to you. And James Sofronis has shown that he can really restart at World Challenge. James Sofronis was very bold going into the corner, late on the brakes, and then had to gut it out to stay in behind Dino Crescentini.
PD working up through some of the TC traffic, and this is, look at this, multi-class racing and World Challenge is back. GT, GTS, TC right there lined up side by side. And going back to pick up your leader in the touring car class, Todd Burras, continuing an impressive weekend for Irish Mike Racing in that Jetta. On board with Dino Crescentini here at the Acura Sports Car Challenge in St. Petersburg, round 2 of the World Challenge Championship. Dino is leading and driving a superb race. When he's in traffic, he's decisive and effective. And when he's got none in front of him like he has now, he's just flying. And there's PD leading away in GTS, but here's second and third in GTS. Here's second and third in TC.
This is good stuff. You know, change is always unsettling, and changing over to this format this year was a little bit scary for a lot of different teams, but you gotta hand it to the guys from World Challenge and SCCA Pro Racing. This was their vision, Greg. This is what they saw. This, baby, is Sports Car Wars.
And here comes Tony Gaples, and he comes in too hot, locks them all up, and into the runoff area. Hopefully he didn't damage those tires too bad. Let's take a look at a Game Streamer replay, Tom.
There's a lock up on the Toyos right there. A little release, and then there again, very little he could do. It was either that or take out the wall, but it's going to be a bumpy ride from here on in.
Well, as we're working lap 29 of this now timed event, you've got one of the most experienced drivers in the championship in Cunningham, the most experienced, one of the fastest in Dino Crescentini. And look at PD, looks in his mirrors, leaves it out just a little bit. But right there, his exit did get balked as Sofronis, with that tighter line through the corner, slowed up. And Davis now has closed up to within a couple of car lengths of PD. This is getting interesting.
White flag fly at the start-finish line, Greg. Dino Crescentini still leading Sofronis.
One more lap to go, and kind of like the Volvos in Saturday's round, you know that Sofronis, even if he does catch Crescentini by right of traffic or some such thing, is not going to do anything overly aggressive and risk hurting the cars. So Crescentini, all he's got to do is keep the pace up, keep it smooth, and it looks like maybe after a Volvo 1-2 yesterday, a Porsche 1-2 today. Absolutely great to see the manufacturer battle in these sports car wars well and truly alive. It is awesome. A great drive by Dino Crescentini. A great drive as well by James Sofronis with that restart. Look at that, a 1-2 for Global Motorsports Group and Porsche as the checkers fly. Superb effort by this team.
Yeah, and as we see the checkered flag fly there in the hands of Jerry Russert, you see the foreboding skies there. Now Peter Cunningham comes across the start-finish line in the GTS category. It is a 1-2-3 sweep for the real-time racing team, thanks to our friend Brandon Davis. So Todd Burras sans headlights, doesn't need him, comes to his second victory in as many days. What a performance by the Irish Mike's racing team.
And what an opening 2 rounds of this championship. Look at Todd celebrating, waving over to the crew, standing at the wall. The checker is out for him as well. And Dino Crescentini leads Sofronis and the rest of this field around on a very sweet lap. And you can't say enough as Dino really celebrating, waving to the corner workers, and a big kudo and thanks to all of the volunteer workers that come out and make an event like this happen.